Good evening. It's November 23rd, 2024. Tonight I'm going to be talking again about possible nuclear conflict, what the experts are worried about, and everything regarding that I've been listening to. There's something I want to play for you so you can hear what he's saying.
This is not how we do business. This is not what we, the people, want. That they will continue to pursue these policies to the detriment of everybody. And that's really all I wanted to say is keep an eye on the space as we develop this mission. This is the mission of a lifetime. This is the battle of our lives. If we lose this, we all die, literally. We all will die. We are so close to nuclear conflict, it's not funny. When you have a senior officer in Strategic Command saying openly that we are ready to engage in a nuclear exchange with Russia, do you understand what he is saying? Do you understand that a nuclear exchange means hundreds of millions of dead people? 100 million dead Americans, minimum. And they're ready to do it right now. If you're not angry, if you're not scared, you're not human. They are ready to go to nuclear war right now. We need to stop it.
I want to thank Scott for being...
Okay. So that was Scott Ritter. He's a former UN weapons inspector during the early 2000s, during the Iraq War. He investigated the weapons of mass destruction that were not found in Iraq. He's a former Marine as well. So he's sharing his concerns. He wants everybody to go to the Capitol and the White House on December 7th to voice concerns and to stop the escalating and no for against nuclear war, because the senior officer in Strategic Command just said a couple days ago, and I even heard Colonel McGregor saying the same thing. I've never seen him that upset. And he told the person that was interviewing him that this has got to stop. This admiral does not make policy. Yet Putin and his administration don't know that. He was taking what this man was saying, which was basically saying that we, or the Pentagon, or our country, are ready to engage in a nuclear exchange with Russia. And that's when what you just heard Scott Ritter going off about. In other words, you're ready for everybody to just die. There's real concern. There's also concern from Ray McGovern, who's a former CIA analyst, as well as another former CIA analyst, Larry Johnson. They've all been concerned about that. They've been saying this for a while now, since the escalation has grown. And I watched a computer automated a computer simulation of nuclear attacks between Russia and Europe, and then us, and what would happen in that circumstance. And it wasn't good. Basically, no sun, 70% of no sun for, I forget how long they said. 10 years, the ozone layer would be gone. Animals would be dead. The crops would be dead. So not only do you have the effects of the nuclear explosions, radiation, all that, you're also going to have starvation. If you're still alive. Anyway, I know this is a very depressing episode, but I wanted to share it because it seemed really important. I also noticed in the midst of listening to these discussions, I keep hearing from Colonel McGregor, he was, where in the world, who is running our government, basically? Because Biden really isn't around, as we know, and he doesn't know what's going on, and, with these people that are the handlers for him, and, Kamala, she's on vacation. And I realized that if I was a person who was the leader of a country, and we had such a serious situation going on, a real serious situation, life and death, really. And you cannot reach one of the involved countries' leaders or anybody in his, immediate administration to discuss this. That must feel horrible. So watching the video simulation, I understood what was taking place, but I think that it really isn't sinking in. I don't think we can really that whole situation, the outcome, it can really sink in because it's just too hard to fathom that this could happen. So I don't know if it would be to that extent. I've been praying, we've all been praying for lessening of this upcoming explosion of war, World War III. I do know that some nuclear weapons will be used in certain portions of the world. Anyway, there's just things that they're trying to do that aren't good in this administration. So I just wanted to share that with you. In the midst of all that, one of my immediate family members is, she voted for somebody else, which she voted for the other party, and, that was fine. She votes who she wants to vote for. I voted for Trump because I didn't see any other alternative. I felt like he was our best guess, or our best hope of what's been going on in this country, how everything has been going down a dark path. So I believe this was the best path to take at this point. There wasn't really, we hope that everything that President Trump wants to do that is a good thing for this country happens. But, what if the war happens before he's in or right after he's in? What is he going to be able to do? I mean, we're going to be in shambles for the next so many, I would say, years, at least a few years. But some of the things that my family member was posting was very hateful, very much totally directed to the actual supporters, people who actually voted for Trump. It didn't used to be this way. You would have feelings about the person running, the politician. You did not bring in the supporters and talk in such vitriolic ways. And, obviously I've known this person my whole life. And it is upsetting, and it really makes me feel like if she hates me so much because of, wow, just because I voted and it wasn't the person she liked, well then why do I don't even want to talk to her. I know that's terrible because we always talk about keeping communication open, but the post that she shared was very offensive. And I would never say that about anybody who votes for whoever, because that's their prerogative. In any case, so I found that out today because another family member told me about it. Sometimes you wonder, you kind of remember the Bible verses where, Christ said that families would be split up, brother against brother, mother against son, father against, daughter, and, sibling against sibling, and all this. And I just feel like this is kind of happening, So, anyway, that was kind of it's just been escalating her feelings on certain things regarding Trump's picks for his cabinet, and I have my own concerns, but you know what? We don't know until they're in what's going to happen. So I think we don't need to, make ourselves anxious over what's going to happen before it happens. Let's see. We'll wait. These people get into office. We'll see what happens. Then we'll hold them accountable if they don't, they don't do what they said they were going to do, or going to. I mean, just like any other office that comes in. The difference is this one is more outside the regular status quo, which is a good thing. We need to end the status quo of constant bought-off politicians. Nobody can get anything done in Congress because they're all bought off, so we aren't represented at all. Nobody can do anything because nobody listens to us. And so we knew things were going to get worse, but are we all prepared? Are we all buckled up for this? Are we bracing? Are we, it just seems, and the reason why I say that is another thing that happened personally today is that my son's best friend who lives with us, he was laid off this morning. He lost his job. This is detrimental to us because it's me, my younger son, and then the friend of my older son who are working, and that's how we're able to afford our mortgage. And it's scary when you don't know what's going to happen when he can get another job. And here comes Christmas. We did refinance our house a couple months ago, which will help a little bit. But it's, we just have to leave it in God's hands and pray and do what we can to get through. I'll get into another video about healthcare issues, personal stuff, so that we can be talking about something different than depressing stuff as the war, but there's other things to discuss as well, and what might happen with the new administration on that. So I'll leave it here on this issue. All I know is if I was a leader of a country and I couldn't reach the person that was involved in this, it must be difficult. I don't see any turn of de-escalation. And I can understand why now Putin wanted to talk to Trump, because he couldn't find anybody to talk to in the Biden administration. But Trump he can't do anything until he's in office. And that's a real issue. So chew on that. If you have any thoughts on this, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please pray for all of us. If you like my content, please follow my channel and like my videos. And I will see you later, probably in a next video in the next, not too long, the next hour or so, probably. Thank you. Talk to you soon.